अरे मंग्या मंग्या अरे उधर उधर ही जा अरे इधर इधर सर राइट में सर राइट में इधर नहीं मिला यार इधर नहीं मिला ये पीछे
Notice he is as distinguished in a formal button-down suit as he is comfortable, bare-bodied and larger than life on screen. Before we begin,
I think, first of all, a very good evening to all of you, and congratulations to the Ashish Contractor for the launch of this lovely book. I think health for me, I've always said is, being an actor, you're not just a model, you're a role model, and it's very important to lead by lifestyle. And for me, I wake up really early in the morning, embarrassingly early, and sometimes I don't know what to do, but I wake up at 4:30, I train, my day begins by 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I usually sleep by 9:30, that's pretty early because I have my dinner early in case I'm not working, and it's something that's very important, especially for the young kids out here that are very impressionable, and everyone at large. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I've never done drugs, and I think it's something that I don't scream out about, but I think somewhere down the line it's helped me in my lifestyle, and I think good health is about good food, a good exercise routine, and good sleep. So I always say it's like a tripod stand. Without one, you kind of collapse, and it's important to have, all three in your life.
thank you. You've had a chance to go through the book before the others have. Was there anything that particularly stood out for you that you'd like Dr. Contractor to elaborate on, to clarify, to speak about?
Yeah, actually, there was an article that was very reminiscent of what page was it? 12, 13. There was an article that was very, one of the chapters on risk factors that was very reminiscent of something that happened in my life. And here it says that, here it speaks about, your doctors keep telling me to quit smoking, but look at my uncle Dinshaw. He smoked 1 packet a day, red meat, eggs and, alcohol, etc., everything, and he survived till the ripe old age of 92. And on the other hand, there's another guy called Mahesh who only had boiled foods and was a sannyasi and, walked 5 miles a day, and he had a heart attack at 48. And Ashish, this actually happened I experienced this with my father's 2 best friends. One was a Bengali gentleman who drank, smoked, everything, and he lived till the age of 90. And the other gentleman, a Punjabi gentleman who never drank, never smoked, died of cancer. And he had a heart attack early in his life at the age of 50. And he was gone by the time he was 55. So, don't people ask you this very often, that what is smoking and drinking and a crazy lifestyle got to do with? Look at these people; these are examples out here.
So to answer that, actually I get that asked all the time, and let me explain it in the concept of risk factors and driving a car, because everybody understands driving a car. Let's say you're driving a car on this road on Friday at 5 a.m. and you're driving at 20-30 kilometers per hour and obeying all the rules. The chances of you having an accident are very slim. But let's say instead it was 5 o'clock in the evening on a Friday, there's lots of traffic, you're driving really fast, you may be talking on the phone while driving, you've had a drink or two, there's water on the road. The chances of you having an accident increase. So, sort of drinking and driving, talking on the phone, speeding, rash driving, they're all risk factors for having an accident. But it is possible that sometimes people drive crazily and nothing happens. like the Bengali gentleman your dad knew, who sort of did everything wrong and still survived.
Absolutely, yeah.
And sometimes you do everything right, you're driving carefully, and you still have a problem. So that's 5% of the people do everything right and still have a problem, and there are 5% of the people who do everything wrong and they don't have the problem. The rest of us fall in that 90%. So things like cholesterol, blood pressure, adequate sleep, exercise, all of those are the risk factors which really lead to heart disease. And the more we keep it under control, the less the chance of us having a problem.
I think this would be the most relevant and popular question for you. What are the symptoms of a heart attack, and what immediate emergency steps can we take?
So I think to put it very simply, a lot of people are confused between things like acidity and gas and a heart attack. So I say any discomfort anywhere from your navel to your nose, okay, especially when you're exerting, when you're exercising, and that goes away when you rest, that could be related to, those are signs of angina. So angina is not only pain in the left side of your chest going to your left arm, which is a very classical textbook definition. It's any discomfort anywhere in the upper body which increases with exertion. So it doesn't mean every time you get a toothache, you're having a heart attack, but a toothache could be a sign of having heart disease, okay? So that's the first thing. In an emergency, you get all these WhatsApp forwards going around, start coughing violently and frankly, none of that works. What you need to do is give the person an aspirin and make them eat it up, chew it up, not swallow the aspirin, chew it up, because that can dissolve the clot, and head to the nearest hospital. The biggest mistake we make in our city is we call the general practitioner, he will take 20 minutes to come, he will then say something's wrong, he will say let me do an ECG, and time has gone by. So time is muscle in such a situation, okay? And speaking of muscle, actually John, we met a couple of weeks back at your place, and you were talking about your workout. So do you do only a lot of strength training, or do you also do cardio? What's your workout like?
So now in fact, I approach it in two ways. My next film requires for me to lose a lot of weight, but I do a lot of functional training. I do a bit of strength, a lot of cardio, and I mix it all up. I have a lot of fun. The idea is to be excited, to get up in the morning and go to the gym or go for a walk or go for a run. And it happens once a year when I'm with my two friends here, Mr. Anil Singh and Vivek Singh, the Mumbai Marathon, when we wake up in the morning. But on a regular basis, I love waking up and I love shocking my body, and I just enter the gym and I don't tell myself what I'm going to be doing today. And I start playing around. It's like a child in a candy store. And it's really romantic and it's beautiful, and you're all alone with the weights, and and it's how you approach it and how you see it. And I've made this, and I tell a lot of people this, Ashish. I'm very spiritual. I'm an agnostic, probably tending to an atheist. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I tell people that the only church, the only mandir, the only mosque is that gym or that place where you work out. Could be the road as well where you walk. And you need to worship your body. And it's very important, and that should come paramount. And I try and inculcate the same thing with a lot of youngsters who ask me questions, and I keep telling them, Ashish, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I tell them it's not about big biceps, it's not about six packs, it's about what your core strength is and whether I could beat Dhananjay. I think Dhananjay can outlast me, completely outlast me, in any marathon. He can run circles around me, and I think that's very special. What he does is very commendable. For all you guys who think it's easy, trust me, when we stand there in the mornings and when we look out, what you guys do is really commend. To cross that line is absolutely fantastic. So a big hand to you again. I think you're a real hero.
Great, that's amazing. So you actually wake up at the time Anil Singh goes to bed.
He's the fittest man I know on this side of the planet.
Actually, Anil also features in the book in a very notorious manner, and we won't talk about that right now.
What about recent news? There's been a lot of recent news circling, be it internet articles, forwards, etc., about cholesterol is no longer a dangerous substance. What does that mean?
Okay, so there's a lot of WhatsApp sort of being forwarded around that, no, cholesterol is no more, I'll use the exact words that the US FDA used, no more a nutrient of concern. And what that means is the confusion